Falconry has trained birds of prey since the dawn of time. Practiced with dedication in every region of the world where natural conditions allow, falconry has been passed on from generation to generation over the millennia. We don't know what prompted our ancestors to train a bird of prey. Was it to catch food, or was it the fascination of establishing such a close and intimate link with the top predator? A dream of sharing the falcon's unrivaled skills, and a desire to break free from the shackles of man's earthbound existence. What we do know is that man emerged from the shadows of antiquity with a hawk on his fist. Wearing handcrafted thin strips of leather or jesses around its ankles, the hawk sits securely on the falconer's glove. There are many specialized pieces of equipment. These developed as new skills were learned and different branches of falconry evolved. These ancient skills are not easily learned. They require hands-on teaching, years of practice, and a good tutor.
Your report and your activity. Sokolnictví v naší zemi má dlouhou tradici. Of endangered birds of prey back to wild nature.
In the Czech Republic, as in many countries across Europe, falconers gather every year to celebrate this continuous culture and heritage of their ancestors. In many societies, the hawk, the dog, and the horse have been man's favorite hunting companions. Together they have shared the highs and lows of the day's hunting. Falconers spent hours with their hawks, falcons, and eagles. Each is gently introduced into modern life without stress. Over time, the hawk will come to trust its handler, and a bond becomes established. The hawks love to preen and bathe, keeping their feathers in peak condition. Some warm up their engine in preparation for the day's activities. Falconers study the behavior and welfare of their birds in great depth. In 1250, Emperor Frederick II of Hohenstaufen, himself a dedicated falconer, wrote what we now know as the first proper ornithological text. The art of hunting with birds goes into great depth on the anatomy and disease of birds, and became the foundation of modern avian veterinary science. And his writings on migration and habitat use were the forerunners of modern ornithology and ecology. But we don't need to go this far back. There are modern-day clues all around us that demonstrate how the art of falconry has become ingrained in the culture and psyche of many societies. In Middle East culture, you only have to look at the importance of falconry to ruling families to appreciate how important it is to Arab society. The alliance between man and the birds of prey is so firmly rooted in countries such as Syria, Morocco, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates that even the Muslims' sacred scripture, the Quran, contains a reference to it. Held annually, the Abu Dhabi International Hunting and Equestrian Exhibition highlights falconry as one of the activities that dominates its life in the region. Exhibits delve into the history and heritage of falconry, whilst also illustrating that falconry plays a major role in adding to the region's cultural identity. Falconry is an art form in its own right, and from this comes other expressions of the passion that is falconry. Each spring from the falconer's desire to record and share the love of birds of prey with others. International Festival of Falconry attracted falconers from over 50 nations, one of which used a rather unusual mode of transport.
I'm very proud to be here in the name of Belgium to present actually what we are doing in Belgium during many centuries. So falconry has been practiced for so long in Flanders and in Belgium.
Modern falconry has many uses that benefit modern life and ecology. Here in Madrid, falcons are used to drive off other birds from Spanish airspace, reducing the number of accidents caused by bird strikes. Every day, the lives of thousands of passengers are safeguarded through the efforts of a bird of prey, weighing scarcely a kilogram, a falcon trained using the ancient art of falconry. The culture of falconry develops different branches according to the terrain of the countryside. In wooded countries, the true hawks are chosen, fierce-looking birds with piercing yellow eyes and hair-trigger reactions. They can catch a pheasant or a rabbit in short, sharp dashes through the trees. Nowadays, in the hawking field, the falconer needs to be aware of man-made hazards, such as wind turbines and pylons. Perseverance is required to overcome obstacles, physical fitness, the ability to keep his head and think quickly, adaptability, teamwork and strategy. Success is not measured by the number of prey animals caught, but by how well the falcon has flown. Falconry is popular in Hungary. One of the earliest NGOs related to falconry in Europe is the Hungarian Falconers Club, which is 80 years old this year. The period for hunting is winter. From spring to autumn, the tasks of falconers are breeding, hatching, rearing, and teaching the birds. The members of the club also popularize falconry. They introduce and promote the tradition at different kinds of events, such as the Whitsun Heritage Festival, organized at the Hungarian Open Air Museum. All falconry communities have introduced measures to safeguard their falconry heritage. In the Netherlands and some other European countries, falconers fly birds that are specially bred in order to protect the nests of wild birds of prey. Falconers also undergo comprehensive practical training on different aspects of taking care of their birds. This may be in the classroom, where they learn about the anatomy of birds. Falconry is also learned through mentoring, in family groups or in clubs. It requires years of practice to know how to handle and fly the bird. And older falconers often act as mentors to the young. They teach them how to develop a strong bond with their birds. International falconry field meets are also a way to share and develop falconry skills. Falconers are also concerned to protect the natural environment and variety of habitats in which they fly their birds. Many consider falconry as an art. It is non-competitive, requires one-to-one tuition to learn its subtleties, and cannot be practiced until a level of competency has been reached. Many communities organize national and international field meetings to share their experiences and celebrate the diversity of falconry practice. Falconers are often involved in raising awareness of their heritage through displaying falcons in schools and community events. Falconers in Poland have recently formed a new Falconers Association to help safeguard their heritage. For many who live in cities, Falconry is a heritage practice that encourages interaction with the rural environment, promoting interaction with nature and tradition, but also concerned with sustainable development. Falconry is becoming increasingly popular among women. Falconers are trained to use GPS to track their birds. Kyrgyz falconry is part of an ancient, rich and diverse tradition known as salbaran. It is closely related to other intangible heritage such as horseback riding, oral history, traditional games and festivals. Communities of falconers from different regions of the country learn from each other's experiences and share their knowledge. The cultural tradition that is 4,000 years of falconry living heritage must not be lost. Its practice must continue as an oral tradition. Its art and written knowledge must be celebrated and appreciated. Its place in future conservation must be encouraged. Falconry may only be a small part in mankind's role in sustaining our planet, but one that is central to the basic tenet of UNESCO's convention and one worth protecting for future generations, not in a museum, but alive and in the countryside where it was first developed. The baton of our falconry culture has been passed down to us from our ancestors. We cannot be the generation that allows it to fall.